Law enforcement source telling Fox News that the explosive devices found in Manhattan and that pipe bomb that exploded yesterday morning and several devices that did not detonate, they were targeting that charity run benefiting our U.S. Marines. Well, they were from the same person.
Mr. Rahami is currently under arrest in the city of Linden. It occurred on Elizabeth Avenue in the city of Linden, and one police officer in the city of Linden was shot in the vest and one was shot in the hand. Mr. Rahami also sustained shots, and an ambulance has taken him away.
The fear of foreign terrorists living among us may be underscored with the arrest today of Rahami, a naturalized U.S. citizen from Afghanistan, and the terror investigation into the Somali man who went on that stabbing rampage in Minnesota. While President Obama recently announced plans to allow more than 100,000 refugees into the U.S. in 2017 and plans to push more countries to take in Syrian refugees this week at the United Nations, a new Homeland Security Inspector General's report tonight states that hundreds of individuals who were ordered deported were actually granted U.S. citizenship.
The federal government granted U.S. citizenship to at least 858 individuals ordered, deported, or removed. That's what it said. So how did this happen? Investigators found that hundreds of people who were supposed to be deported simply came up with new names and birth dates, sidestepping the removal orders. It happened because some old paper fingerprint records have not been digitized and so were not readily available to immigration officials. The report found that 3 of these people received credentials which have since been revoked to work in secure areas in commercial airports, in shipping, and another is now a law enforcement official. In fact, as citizens, they can now, quote, sponsor other aliens' entry into the United States. That's what it says. Homeland Security says not all of these people represent any kind of threat, but the reason they were pointed out is because many of them come from countries that are considered potentially dangerous and because some of them have been gaming the system. And the report itself found that not all of these folks have been investigated. Many of them are simply out there, and 148,000 other old fingerprints have yet to be processed, meaning it could happen again.
This weekend's incidents are just the latest examples of why many terror experts in and out of the government are on high alert in recent weeks. Correspondent Kristen Fisher is here with some historical perspective about the issue of Homeland Security. Kristen, good evening.
Good evening, Brett. Well, you know, if what happened in Minnesota does indeed turn out to be inspired or directed by ISIS, it would be the 5th attack on U.S. soil in just under 2 years. And when you add in similar attacks in Europe, that number more than doubles. Here at home, the FBI says it has close to 1,000 open cases in all 50 states focused on people who are at some stage between consuming the poison of the group we call ISIL or ISIS and acting on that poison. At the same time, the Obama administration has just announced plans to allow an additional 110,000 refugees into the U.S. next year, including an unknown number from Syria. Well, critics like retired Lieutenant General and Trump advisor Mike Flynn say they're deeply concerned.
You know, at moments like this, I think it's important to remember what terrorists and violent extremists are trying to do. They are trying to hurt innocent people, but they also want to inspire fear in all of us and disrupt the way we live, to undermine our values. And so even as we have to be vigilant and aggressive, both in preventing senseless acts of violence, but also making sure that we find those who carry out such acts and bring them to justice. We all have a role to play as citizens in making sure that we don't succumb to that fear. And there's no better example of that than the people of New York and New Jersey. When I was speaking to Governor Cuomo and Governor Christie and Mayor de Blasio, one point that they all made is, folks around here, they don't get scared. They're tough, they're resilient, they go about their business every single day. And that kind of toughness and resoluteness and a recognition that neither individuals nor organizations like ISIL can ultimately undermine our way of life. That's the kind of strength that makes me so proud to be an American, and that's the kind of strength that is going to be absolutely critical, not just in the days to come, but in the years to come.
There have been Islamic terrorist attacks in Minnesota and New York City and in New Jersey. These attacks and many others were made possible because of our extremely open immigration system, which fails to properly vet and screen the individuals or families coming into our country. Gotta be careful. Attack after attack, from 9/11 to San Bernardino, we have seen how failures to screen who is entering the United States puts all of our citizens, everyone in this room, at danger. So let me state very, very clearly, immigration security is national security.
Hillary Clinton has just held a press conference where she blamed Donald Trump for the terrorist attacks and blames Donald Trump for ISIS recruiting and coming to America. Not the wars we started over there that tore their countries apart, not the radical religion of Islam. No. It's Donald Trump's fault. Not the liberal policies that bring these people here and basically just let them do whatever they want without any vetting. No. It's Donald Trump's fault.